Welcome to the Real Board Loft, everyone. I'm Trip Foreman, and this, from all the way up there to all the way down here, is a Rawson Sniper gun, and otherwise known as a Rawson Sniper Classic. A lot of times, if something comes out of Rawson's shaping room and it's just forever legendary, he'll throw the word classic on the end. But this is the Sniper gun, and this is an upsize of the ever popular Rawson Sniper, and this board is just a weapon of mass destruction in big surf. I'll tell you a little bit of story about this board. I was in Puerto Rico one time with what I thought was a big board. It was my 9.6 fuller volume back then gun, and just got absolutely humbled. The surf was just absolutely pumping. 9.6, not even close to being big enough. And I went to Pat and I just said, hey, like, I want to get a flatter, faster, fuller, thicker, just monster board for when it gets really, really big. And he ended up making actually one of the very first boards of this lineage for me in a 910, which 910 is the international time to party, 910 time to party. And went out and actually I caught like one of the best waves of my life on that board, just absolutely insane. So when the conditions are critical, you pull a Rawson out for the win, and you have just an unbelievable amount of confidence. A little bit of background on Rawson: he's been delivering confidence to some of the best surfers in the world for a long, long time. People like Tom Carroll, like all of Tom's performance at Pipe and the Snapper and around the world, that was on a Rawson, and all of Tom's big wave boards since then have always been Rawsons. Some younger people now, Makua Rothman, tons of Rawsons in his quiver. Also, Kai Lenny, Rawsons in his quiver. A lot of those Jaws waves that you see him on, Porto waves, all these bigger waves around the world, he's on a Rawson board. Also doing a lot of work with Rawson on tow boards. And last but not least, Mason Ho. That's the last one. Want to drop Mason Ho in there as well. Mason's uber performance at the Monster Eddy at Waimea Bay, that was all on a Rawson as well. So like that just freaking gigantic wave that Mason caught in that heat, that was on, actually every wave that he caught in that event was on a Rawson. So talk a little bit about this board. It wasn't all that long ago that guns used to be just big siblings of the Kelly Slater 90s elf shoe, just really narrow, really thin, and really rockered out for what you really needed to be doing on them, which was paddling really fast. They didn't really paddle much at all. That type of board worked at Waimea because you get flicked in. You don't really paddle into that wave. But it didn't really work on a lot of other waves. So a lot of the gun shapers started doing a lot of the same things that you saw happen to shortboards to their guns. They started going wider throughout. They started going flatter in the entry rocker, carrying more volume throughout the entire board, carrying volume all the way to the nose, like with a nice subtle beak up forward. And then all of these boards, they became just a lot more paddle friendly and wave catching friendly. I'm going to step out of the frame here, get behind Ryan's lens, and just talk a little bit about the board, just clean line. You can see it's got some nice curve to the outline as well. I mean, that's another thing, is that people are not only dropping in on waves of this size, but they're actually trying to maneuver on them and hot dog on them. So you're going to see shapers trying to put a little bit more outline curve into the board, just to loosen the board up so it's not just completely straight. Yes, you're not going to turn it like a 6.0, but you can turn it when you need to, which adds a lot more performance and fun to riding that wave. But basically, it's taken the gun and just made it a lot more user friendly and a lot higher wave count and just a lot more stable and confident under your feet. Add Rawson to shaping it, and it makes it definitely a winner. All the Rawsons that we carry at Real are all shaped on the North Shore of Oahu, right at Pat's house, actually right at backyards, and they're also glassed there, and then they're air shipped over to us at Real. So you're getting an authentic Hawaiian made board right off of Pat's hands. Pat doesn't have Go Shapers or a factory that's pumping out his boards. All the Rawsons that we carry here are all shaped by Pat and signed by Pat. On the Sniper guns, you're going to see wider stringers in the board. Obviously, a strength factor just to strengthen the board, protect it from buckling or breaking in really heavy surf. And you're also going to see beefed up glass schedules. So there's a lot more double six, single six, and you're not going to see as much 4-ounce being used in a board like that. And also, you know, other heavy duty things like sinking the leash plug right into that bomber wide wood stringer just to really anchor it in. All of the Sniper guns are 5-fin futures. The majority of the people that you see using these are using them as quads, but you can also run it as a thruster if you want to. On my 910 that I use, I'm using the Futures G10 paddle gun fins, and the reason I use those is those fins, because of the G10 material. The G10 is really, really strong, so they're able to make the fin noticeably thinner, which goes and still maintain the same strength. And that the thinner fin goes through the water faster and allows you to achieve a higher speed and also keep the fin really, really stable. The other thing about the paddle gun fins is they actually have a slight convex inner foil on the front fins. And what that does, most front fins are either flat on the inside foil or they're concave. Having that slight convex, because when you're riding a gun, you're going super, super fast, and typically in a straight line. Whenever you have a flat inner foil or a concave inner foil, the fin always wants to turn. Whereas if you have a convex inner foil, even if it's just a slight, it's going to feel a lot more confident and locked in going in a straighter line. So that's why you see just about every pro level big wave rider using those fins is the speed factor by having them be thinner, and then also the stability factor of having that slight convex inner edge on the fin. It's just when you're drawing out those long turns, the board's not wobbly. It's just really, really locked in. And then also the G10 is just really, really strong. The Rawson Sniper gun. This here is a 9.6. And to give you some specs on this one, it's 9.6, 21 3/4, 3 5/8, and it is 78 and change for the liters. To give you a comparison, like I would say probably the Paizo Padillac is the most well-known, gun style board, and that 9.6 is 21 1/2, 3 1/2. So this board's about 5 liters bigger than the comparable Padillac. Still maintaining like the high-end use as well. It's the Rawson Sniper gun from Rawson Surfboards in Hawaii. If you have any more questions about this board, this is the 9.6. We also have a 9.8 and a 9.10 in stock. 9.10, time to party. Give us a call at the shop, 252-987-6000, or look us up online, realwatersports.com/surfing. Thanks for tuning in.